The biggest and most vocal group of fans who loudly demand sequels to their favorite films are the lovers of comic book movie universes. Whether it's superheroes, supervillains, or anti-heroes, the list is endless. Enter 2021's Venom: Let There Be Carnage, starring Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock, a journalist whose life became quite chaotic after he merged with the title alien, also played by Hardy. After the success of 2018's Venom, fans couldn't wait to see more of Eddie and his symbiote's life, and producers answered the call. Though the first film was directed by Ruben Fleischer, this time around it was Andy Serkis who took the helm, which must have been quite daunting, right, Andy?
Yes and no. Of course, you know, the huge success of the first movie there were big shoulders to stand on. But Tom Hardy, called me up out of the blue and said, "Andy, I'd really like to throw your hat in the ring to direct this. If might you be interested?" I read the story and the script that he and Kelly had written, and I'd loved the first film, and I particularly loved his performance in the first film. And Tom and I had wanted to work together for many years, so it was just it was a gift really, because the hard work that had gone into setting that story up was done in many ways, and so stepping into a world where, you're quite rightly saying the train was already moving, but it had got to a really interesting point where now we could investigate the real relationship between Eddie and Venom in a more thorough way. Now they know each other, and consequently, really examine the personality of Eddie and Venom and how they match, how they mismatch, the dysfunctionality of their relationship. What was working brilliantly about the relationship, the fact that Venom is so honest and truthful and upfront and has no filter, and Eddie's so self-obsessed and a bit narcissistic and screwed up, and Venom really enjoys pinning him on all of those things. And just this odd couple, and then introducing an incredible villain character, which was a very exciting prospect in terms of how we're going to make Carnage different and how he moves, his physicality, the sort of dangerous schizophrenic wit that he has, and the way that he enjoys inflicting pain. There were so many great ingredients, so I was really excited to join the journey.
Watching Tom Hardy act out fights between his two characters was something that Andy really enjoyed.
The way that Tom works on the character and the level of understanding he has of Venom and Eddie, and seeing how the process of creating Venom, which I'm not sure but he before every single scene, before we block every single scene and get it up on its feet, Tom records Venom's voice, and then it's played back into an earpiece in his ear, so he can then improvise against Venom's lines, and the sound operator can play, like literally press a button to time when to react with when he's playing Eddie Brock. So it's like this strange radio play that happens, and so you really do feel that this alter ego is there for, in Tom's head.
If movies become successful enough to have a sequel, they often attract big Hollywood names. In this case, Serkis got to work with one of his favorite actors, Woody Harrelson, who plays the main villain, Carnage.
I remember watching you playing Larry Flint and thinking, oh, one day I'd like to do something like that. I'd like to be involved in cinema, And then suddenly you find yourself 30 years later, working with someone that you've admired all this time. And so I always have to pinch myself how lucky I am doing the job I do, and I'm sure secretly us other Brits on this feel the same, and I know we do. That's how we're built.
Venom: Let There Be Carnage received mixed reviews from critics, but the fans turned out anyway and made it into a box office success, grossing in over $500 million. So we're pretty sure we haven't seen the last of this complicated character.